All right, happy MMO Monday to you. You guys know what it is. We are going to go around the horn and talk about all the MMO news that you may have missed within the past week. Also, if you ever are interested in purchasing a cup of coffee from Coffee Cold Company, use code CDG for 15% off. You help buy me a cup of coffee, you get some good coffee. It's a good deal all around. Anyway, here we go. Dune Awakening, which is an upcoming Dune MMO. If you haven't heard about it already, you should be hearing about it now. They have just released part of their embargo on what content creators have been able to play in their closed beta. Now, their closed beta has been incredibly secretive. They haven't really talked about much other than what the game is going to be like, and they've been very hush-hush on what kind of gameplay details they have been able to divulge. Now, if you go around anywhere on the internet right now, you just type in Dune Awakening, Dune MMO, you'll be able to see a lot of the footage that content creators who have access to the closed beta, what they've been able to put together, and what their thoughts are. Now, I will say this is one of probably the biggest MMO releases this year that I am paying attention to. It's one that I'm very excited about. I'm hoping that I get invited to one of these betas where I can actually talk about the game and be able to play it. I'm very excited. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Currently, Dune Awakening is set to release sometime here in 2025. They have it marked as early 2025, but if we know anything about MMOs, it could take a while. Dune Awakening is made by Funcom, the creators of Conan Exiles, amongst other things. Truth be told, I'm just actually excited to get eaten by a worm. Don't ask questions. It's a weird fantasy that I have. Shut up. Throne and Liberty is having its very first expansion added onto the game, Wilds of Talendry. I'm probably saying that wrong. That is set to release on March 6th. This expansion is looking to have a brand new zone, a bunch of new solo dungeons, 3-star dungeons, as well as a new artifact system, and some weapon mastery updates. Now, again, I was very vocal at the beginning of Throne and Liberty. It didn't resonate with me. Let me just put it that way. It didn't resonate with me, but that doesn't mean to say that it doesn't resonate with everyone else. This game is still very popular. It's still one of the most popular free-to-play MMOs that are available on Steam, so you gotta give credit where credit is due. And the fact that they're adding a new expansion shows that they have made enough of a push for them to keep creating content. So you know what? Good to them. I'll cheers to that, and I'll admit that I was wrong. What's most interesting out of this new expansion is this thing called the Nebula Island. Now, the Nebula Island seems like it's a brand new zone that is tied to this expansion. However, it seems like it's an open world max level PvP area. There's one area that is designated for no PvP action, and then everywhere else is basically no hold bar combat. At least that's what I can understand about this. Maybe we'll see more. We'll have more information here in the coming weeks, but that does seem like a really good improvement onto the game, which in my mind, what little that I did play, seemed like it was already kind of PvP oriented, so that's good for them. World of Warcraft is celebrating its 2nd anniversary for the Trading Post. For those of you who did not know, the Trading Post is essentially a new system that they added into Dragonflight, where if you're an account within good standing, or you complete some achievements, or you work on some extracurricular things, you can earn this new currency called Trader's Tender. That Trader's Tender can then be exchanged at the Trading Post for a whole bunch of various cosmetics, which is pretty cool. Now, it seems like the Trader's Tender can only be capped at a total of about 1,000 a month. And if I got that wrong, please comment down below and let me know. But it seems that there's 500 for having an account in good standing each month, as well as various activities that you can earn the Trader's Tender up to a cap of 500. So again, 500 is 1,000. Now, some of the rewards that they have are pretty unique and honestly pretty cool. They have this new mount called the Silvermoon Sweeper. Now, when I played World of Warcraft for the longest time, I was a Blood Elf Hunter. That was my thing. That's what I loved. I loved that class aesthetic. It fit. And the Silvermoon Sweeper looks like it's a long bike, but like Silvermoon theme, which is pretty cool. Honestly, I thought that was awesome. EVE Online has gone ahead and thrown down the gauntlet of their entire roadmap for the remainder of 2025, which also includes 2 major new expansions included onto the game. Now, for those of you who don't know, EVE Online is a massive space MMORPG, and it's a persistent world where things are constantly changing and things are moving around. It has been around for a very long time. I personally have never been into that aesthetic of online mass space gameplay. That's never really been my take. However, I've included the link for all of the EVE Online content, what they plan on doing for the season of 2025 or the year of 2025, so you guys can check it out. It seems like it's a lot of fun. Seems like it's a very exciting time to be on there. So there you go. That's good. Destiny 2, and I think this is actually really fun and interesting. I'm kind of wondering why it took so long for them to do it. Destiny 2 has gone ahead and announced that they will be having a crossover event with Star Wars, where you can earn Star Wars themed items in Destiny 2. Now, there isn't a whole lot of extra information on this as of yet. However, I do think that this is, I mean, I'm surprised it took this long to get to where we are, but we are apparently supposed to know here more in the coming week. It seems like it's tied to Heresy Act 1, so that's something that if you're a Destiny 2 player, you should probably be paying attention to. The Quinfall, which I had talked about last week, and its kind of abysmal start and its poor just opening, they have confirmed that they were under a DDoS attack, which was causing a number of different server issues, login issues, and connection issues for many different players. Now, they are apparently doing their best to keep the DDoS attacks away, or the connection issues away. However, they have launched new servers, which are apparently able to play the game without any issues, as well have gone into complete bug maintenance mode and removed as many different bugs as they possibly can. One of the biggest ones that I ran into when playing this game was, of course, the NPCs not even loading. It took me 25 minutes to get into the game, and then I couldn't even talk to the right player to get the story moving, anything like that. So it wasn't the best launch. Maybe it'll be something that I come around and check, but we will see. Final Fantasy XIV is preparing its Valentine's Day event. Now, that's something that I should probably get into, seeing as much as I stream the game and how much I've really enjoyed the story. Now, it seems like each one of the seasonal events in Final Fantasy seem to be short. It's only ever a couple of quests. It's usually not very long, but you can usually get some good cosmetics. This year, it seems like there is a new emote where you'll be able to go down onto one knee and present a flower bouquet, which is pretty nice. You could be able to toss that out, send that to your nice loved ones. Blade & Soul is releasing a remastered version called Blade & Soul Neo. This remastered version will allow characters to create and hold their names for future reference for once the game is actually ready to be downloaded. Now, Blade & Soul, I'll be honest with you, I'd never touched, I never really had the interest in, but a lot of players have talked about how they enjoyed the game, how it was fast and fun. Now, this is produced through NCSoft, which, if you weren't familiar, NCSoft also handles Throne and Liberty as well as Guild Wars 2. They're the publisher for Guild Wars 2, not the developer. The developer's ArenaNet. Get it right. Pax Dei, which is an upcoming sandbox MMORPG. It's one that I got to play when it was in, I believe it was early alpha. I think it was only in its alpha state. And it had some bones, but it really wasn't quite ready for release. Well, they are destroying some of the construction plots, plans that players have had if they have been inactive for so long. Now, this doesn't really come as a surprise. The idea of this game is that it's an open world survival MMORPG, classical survival MMORPG, so it really has a lot of elements that could be very good if implemented correctly, which I say that about a lot of MMOs. Can they actually do it? It remains to be seen. But the idea is that they are removing the inactive plots, allowing players who are actively playing the game to go in and create their own houses and buildings and take the plots where they want to. Now, this doesn't really come as a surprise with the game being in early access and the progression of the story and all of that. It really isn't all that surprising that they are doing this. I remember actually recently that they went ahead and completely wiped the server of all of their active plots and all the creations that players have done. They did refund the materials, which was a good touch, which was something that was needed. However, I felt like it just rubbed the wrong way. But again, it's early access. You can expect this kind of thing before the 1.0 release. CorePunk, which is this is fun. Listen to this. MMO ARPG. It's a little bit different because it's a top-down ARPG. I think very kind of similar to like Albion Online, but it seems like faster. CorePunk has gone ahead and identified that they are going to be updating the talent upgrading system within their game. Now, as someone who wasn't necessarily interested into that kind of MMORPG, if I was going to play a top-down ARPG, I'd play like Path of Exile or something of the like. Honestly, I tell you what, I played Grim Dawn recently. Actually really love that game. Just saying, calling that out there. However, that should be good news. There really isn't too much other information on that, aside from, yeah, it's coming. Ashes of Creation has gone ahead and showcased their treasure hunt system, where fortune favors the adventurers. Players can look forward to uncovering everything from precious crafting materials as well as game-changing equipment. Now, this is their own statement, and I've included the link as far as the live stream if you care to learn more. Now, Ashes of Creation is still very much in alpha, and there's a lot of creators who have said that it looks good. Personally, I don't have any experience as at this time. The only reason being is that it costs like over $100 to join the alpha, and I don't know. I'm not too keen on that. I know some people are. That's just my own reservation. And pretty much that is all the MMO news that you may have missed within the last week. Now, if you are interested, I've been playing the hell out of a game called Enshrouded. It's not an MMO, but it's an open world survival RPG, and it's a hell of a good time. You can see my video here. Aside from that, stay caffeinated, folks.